The VAR debacle, of course, rumbles on from Spurs against Liverpool after the Luis Diaz goal was disallowed. So PGMOL Chief Officer Howard Webb is under pressure to get our faith back with VAR. It's not really been there for quite some time. There's several angles and options to look at now. Back pages of the papers today. Let's start with Liverpool now demanding to hear that audio. They've admitted to significant human error from the game. Reports in the Mail that the audio could be released as soon as today. And then there's reports that the audio will be released once a full review into the incident is complete. What do you think? Will hearing the audio help, or will that just further shame and embarrass the PGMOL as to what happened that day?
I think that if we hear on the audio what the PGMOL had said was on there, so that therefore the reason for missing that the situation at the Spurs game at the weekend was very genuine. If we hear that and we hear Howard's explanation on the back of it, maybe that will go to some way to putting to allaying a few fears and putting this to bed. But the mind boggles, Shaban, if what we hear is careless, is as Keith Hackett came on yesterday with me and Nat and said, too much tittle-tattle going on in there.
Yeah. A lack of focus, maybe?
Lack of focus, if we're in voices talking over each other. I mean, you have to have a bit of that, of course, when a situation occurs. But if it's not clear, concise, and we're not getting the opinion and the feeling that people are on it, then it could be damaging for them.
Further damaging.
Couldn't it?
Yeah.
I am surprised it's taken as long as it has to release the audio. Now, I understand that they always delay the audio, I get it, but this is such a high-profile incident. We needed clarity as soon as we could have got it. And I think what the problem is in delaying it, you're opening it up to people saying, has this been edited to make it even slightly better towards the PGMOL? I also think if they had released it as soon as they could have, then it would have quashed it a lot sooner. We're still talking about it because we haven't heard it. We need to know what happened so that we can all understand how we all learn from it going forward, or certainly the PGMOL learn from it. And I wonder if it's going to be a tipping point as well in terms of they need to learn their communication actually wasn't great all along, and now they need to learn going forward that no longer do you just say check complete. It's got to be check complete goal or check complete offside or whatever it is. So there's lots that they'll have to learn from it, but I'm surprised that it's taken this long.
And the communication is another thing that's been demanded at this moment in time, to have that access between Stockley Park, the referees and the fans, those watching at home, those in the stadiums. People are calling for that now. It could bring a little bit of faith back to VAR. The other option is replaying the game. It feels like a very difficult and dangerous precedent to set if they replay this game. Is this a bit of a joke to you if they were to go ahead and do this?
You just can't, because every manager, every team will now come out and say, well, hang on, we had an incident that we should have had, as we've now learned, there have been a few errors made this season. Every manager then will demand, well, actually, we need a replay. And you just can't. And I understand, I have sympathy towards Liverpool, obviously, because of what's happened, but you can't demand replays.
Yeah, I don't see that, Shaban. Could you give Liverpool a goal to add to their tally?
Just that. No points, but a goal.
No points.
There's also this, now in future moving forward, if there's an apology from the PGMOL, what does it mean? Do you get some sort of make up the difference, like a goal, like the opportunities? I mean, this goal happened from Luis Diaz around 35 minutes, so there's a replay of 35 minutes of the game. It's such a difficult thing, and it throws up a whole lot of jokes.
And you probably can't even give a goal because, again, likewise, other managers will say, well, we should have got this and we didn't, and that goal shouldn't have been disallowed because of this, and etc. etc.
What we don't want to hear is the door opening and we hear, right, I've got 2 bacon sandwiches here. Who's on bacon? Yeah, that's one. No, I'm on sausage. We don't want to hear something.
Feeling that's what it might be.
Oh, can you imagine if you heard something like that on the audio? I'd laugh.
As much as I want to hear the initial, how they came to their conclusion and how they got it wrong and what they were looking at, it is the seconds after. Yeah. Is it silence? Is it don't say anything, but we got it wrong? Yeah. Or that's what I want to know.
Or is it, I was in Saudi Arabia at the weekend, refereeing this game, and I got $3,000 for doing that game. We're hearing of a lot of referees now working abroad for extra cash. Could there be a discussion? Anything that could be going on.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.